We not hesitate to have anyone who interrupt any of the candidates when they are talking walked out of these premises. Please, kindly allow them. Thank you. You may go ahead now.
Yeah, Mr. Moderator, thanks a lot. I'm very happy with my personal record. I've never been governor, but I've held positions. And I will tell you quite frankly that if you were to do a comparative analysis between the government I served and this present government, you'll be shocked. I was just looking at the statistics. You will find that in Edo State today, in the educational sector, you have only 17 physics teachers. You have only 12 biology teachers. In the central hospital, there's no incubator. And because of that, infant mortality has shot up in Edo State. The level of inflated contracts is unbelievable. I can give you some jobs that have been done by this government and you'll be shocked. So really, if you look at this sectorially, this government has been a disaster. In the industrial sector, they have failed. In agriculture, they have failed. In housing, they have failed. They are not transparent, and the level of corruption is mind-boggling. So when you hear people on that side talking about coming to clear the rot, perhaps because they did not live in Edo State, maybe that's why they don't understand the disaster this government has been. This is a government that has been privileged to have close to 1.4 trillion, and yet they have carried the state into a high level of indebtedness. In the past 2 years alone, they borrowed $150 million from the World Bank. Now you look at the exchange, look at the exchange rate. That money is supposed to be paid back in dollars, and they say they have an economic advisor. I believe that this government has been a disaster. I'm very proud of my record. When I was SSG, accreditation in Abu Sali University, it was 22 accredited courses. We moved it to 66. As of today, accreditation has dropped in Abu Sali University. Agriculture, Edo State was #1 in cassava. Today we are not there. Edo State was #2 in cocoa. Today we are not there. We did many housing estates. So when
Thank you so much. Well, now, it's now time for us to move into the issues relating to the economy. Sulaiman, allow you to start.
Thank you very much. My question is for every candidate here, and I'd like to start from my right. And the question is posed before every candidate. Oil exports is progressively becoming an uncertain and insecure source of revenue. That means not much money will come from the Federation account. How then do you intend to finance your campaign promises?
Thank you. We need to diversify the economy of our state. There's been too much dependence on allocation, and it became even worse in the past 7 to 8 years. Agriculture, for example, is not funded by the present state government. Edo State was very good in tree crops. We had 2 research institutes here because of our exploits in agriculture. Agriculture can bring us a lot of money. Even the IGR, there's a lot of corruption going on in the place. If we ensure that government money does not go to private coffers, a lot more money can come. Solid minerals, industries, even housing. Lagos State, for example, a lot of their wealth comes from their land. Edo State is doing nothing in that direction at all. All we need to do is to invest in our land, create infrastructure, and sell that land at a premium. That itself can bring money. That is not being done. The present government, they have excelled in wealth consumption, they have failed in wealth creation. We intend to think outside the box. We intend to exploit every area to get revenue, not necessarily by multiple taxation or punitive taxation, but by looking at alternative sources of revenue. And there are very many. Edo State is strong in solid minerals. Edo State was good in sports. Edo State has plenty of land. So there is so much area.
Mr. Yamu, your time is up.
Thank you.
The Labour Party.
Yeah, thank you very much. You see, we in the Labour Party, we believe we can do it together. How are we going to do it together? By creating money industries. We are not going to depend on oil alone. We have what it takes in Edo State to generate revenue for ourselves. You will agree with me, when we encourage inventors and innovators, they will also create employment, which will also create other jobs for those who are unemployed. And again, by the time we empower them, we can stand as surety for them to get loans from other banks. And by so doing, you will see that everything will come to place. And again, we'll revive those dead industries we have, like Benderbury, and we have like Edo Line. You agree with me? Even God is Good Motors that just came off yesterday is progressing. Where's Edo Line today? Is that? But when we come on power, we are going to make sure Edo Line is back on feet, Ben Insurance is back, and even Benderbury also will also come back to feet. And we are going to make sure we partner with these people. Thank you very much.
Abga.
For me, our model has been tested. Because the Abga model is a manifesto, it's a blueprint that is ongoing. Let me assure you that if you don't know, the Anambra model, which is Abga, we are exporting ugu leaf and bitter leaf as I speak with you in Anambra State. Anambra has started producing its rice, Anambra rice. So it is that model that has been tested. It is not about lyrics, it's not about propaganda, it's not about blueprints, it's not about agenda. It's about what you know, what is going. We are not coming to start from the fresh. The template is already in Anambra. Because you must have a template to key into. And Anambra template is working as I speak with you. So agroeconomy is number one.
And lastly, from the APC candidates.
Thank you. The challenge for us is, if you have never built anything, if you've never built institutions or financed anything in your life, it's difficult to come and start doing it now. In Edo State, oil prices started declining about 10 months ago rapidly. But even in that decline, we've been able to pay salaries. In Edo State, we're up to date in salaries. And we're financing our contractors as we speak. So the model is already in place, on how to finance the government in a difficult situation such as we have today. What exactly do you need to do? You have to have transparency in government. You have to have proper procurement process so that you can get value for the money you spend, no matter how little the money is. You have to be clear about your priorities. Make sure, we've cleaned up our payroll. We don't have ghost workers. So what we pay as salaries is value we get from the workers. In terms of other sources of revenue, we've built infrastructure over the last 8 years. That infrastructure is now creating economic activity in the state. We've realized that for us to increase government revenues, you have to attract private investments. And in the last 7 years, Edo has witnessed the level of private investment that it did not witness in the first 10 years of our democracy. And the evidence is all there.
I'm afraid your time is up. All right. We're still looking at issues of economy and unemployment. And those are very, very important issues, key to the people of Edo State. Stanley.
All right, so for three of you, the ABGA candidate, Labour Party candidate, and PDP candidate, it will be very interesting to know your ideas concerning, especially because none of you in the records have actually run a business that we can point to. So we'd like to know, especially now that the money we're getting from oil has dropped drastically, we'd like to know how exactly, with your lack of finance background, how exactly you intend to sustain the economy.
Can I answer first?
Yes, please.
Okay. I believe that you must have gotten your information wrong. I have run a very successful business. With all modesty, before I got to the age of 30, I had millions in my account. And as of today, I run a thriving commercial farm in Edo State. I'm surprised you chose you chose three of us and you left the candidate of the APC. I don't know what business he has run, but if you're talking about business, I will tell you, I run IO Farms in Benin. I'm the owner of IO Ventures, and we are doing well, and I have a model, an agenda to be able to run the affairs of Edo State.
Labour Party.
Yeah, thank you very much. Actually, I've not really owned a business or run a business. But as a chartered accountant, I'm also a financial consultant also. As an accountant and a financial consultant, there are laid down principles that we have to invite. See, when you have foreign partners who will come and partner with you, we can raise revenue, we can get foreign support. There are foreign investments who are ready to invest in Edo State as we speak. All what they want to know is, let us see what you have, what are your blueprints, so that they can invest in what would. I believe we have those things laid down, that we are waiting for foreign investors. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. First thing you must know, economy is about contact and content. If you don't have the contact, the economy cannot grow. If you don't have the content, the economy cannot grow. For us in ABGA, the model, I repeat it, the model that we have on ground, we are not coming to test it here. It has been tested. Let me explain it to you. Before we can go into agro, there must be infrastructure. I went around 19 local government, 192 was villages. I discovered that no access road to any of the farms. Until we are able to put infrastructure in place, our agro economy can never grow. We are not depending on oil in Anambra. We don't owe salary. We don't owe pensioners. We pay every 24th of the month because it's a model you must put on the table. He is talking about continuity. The continuity is talking about, it is what he has seen on ground. PDP is talking about that the APC has failed. But I am telling you, the model that has been tested, we are using in Anambra, is what we are bringing to Edo State. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Obaseki, it's your turn now.
The ABGA candidate made a very valid point. For you to have economic growth, for you to be able to grow your economy, you have to build infrastructure. And in the last 8 years in this state, we have built almost 1,000 kilometers of roads. The road from Ekperi to Anagbete, for instance, in Edo North, has opened up over 100,000 hectares of farmland. Now, investors can access that farmland. They can drive their tractors in there and commence production. If previous governments in Edo State had built the basis, they had built roads, even 100 kilometers of roads, we will have something to build on. So for us, we would have had something to build on. So for us, economic growth is about the infrastructure you have put in place, the manpower you are training and preparing for the workplace, and the general environment you have created to attract investments into your state.
Many thanks for your thoughts there. I'm very sure that a lot of Nigerians and the people of Edo State will want to know just how these 4 men plan to create more jobs in Edo State if given the chance to do so. If they are elected governor, we'll be finding out when we come back from this break. Join us again.